In this session of DesignWorks TV, we'll be featuring DesignWorks 10 for Autodesk Inventor 2010. We're going to be working on more of a freeform shaped surface to show you the ability that DesignWorks has to capture complex surfaces. The first thing you'll notice is a new ribbon's been entered to Inventor. This ribbon is very similar to the sketch ribbon in Inventor. We'll be first just picking a plane to work on and starting a new sketch. One of the key features of DesignWorks is, since you're already an Inventor user, we've kept the DesignWorks ribbon interactively similar to the ribbon in Inventor. So if you already know how to draw in Inventor, you're already familiar with our tool. It can be moved around, pinned, or actually redocked. So the first thing we're going to do is outline where we want to work. Our goal is to be able to create the freeform surface of this top part. So let's go ahead and use the DesignWorks line tool. It does support full compensation, and it can be done in two modes: a normal 2-point or a best fit where you can drag it. So let's first outline where I want to work. I'm holding the digitizer device against my edge and depressing the button to take data. I can use this in any format. In this case, I'm creating some lines to outline where I want to have my trim edge. I'm now going to go ahead and jump right into the Arc tool. Now in this case, we're going to utilize DesignWorks Best Fit capability, and I have it set to take data about every 1/4 of an inch. So I'm simply going to depress the button once, drag, and when I've finished, depress the button again, it'll capture my profile. You can interactively move right into the Inventor trim tools, and we're actually going to just extend these corners to match. Again, our goal is to use this later for making a boundary. And we can also trim. We're going to save our part and move to the next step. Now that we have our boundary, there are some items in Inventor called work planes. I've gone ahead and actually created some ahead of time. So we're going to come over here and actually just turn these on. DesignWorks creates planes as well as work planes for Inventor. So what we'll do is show you where these are at. We'll expand them out rather than take the time to build them all. And you can see we've created these. So we allow us to select these in the tree. We'll make them visible. Now the reason why we want to do this is DesignWorks has a key feature. This tool here allows you to take the probe and interactively drag it across the surface. The key feature of this tool is allow you to capture a freeform shape, but give you the ability to go back and edit and make changes. DesignWorks is the only product of its type that can actually store the movement of a device and replay it for a later need. So let's go ahead and show you how this works. We're going to go ahead and select the Lock Plane tool in DesignWorks. The nice thing about this tool, you don't have to worry about making the points too close or too far away. We have a unique database that stores all the movement of the device and can be replayed and reordered. We're going to tell it to create curves and maintain a distance of every 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to select some planes I want to scan through. Now you're going to notice I'm going to leave a couple out here. Now we simply take the device, hold it, and make sure it's in contact with our part, to press the button once, and drag it across the shape. We're now making the device seem like a scanning tool. Now you can work in one place, like so say I wanted to make sure I was getting this very fine detail on this edge. I can work in one area, or if I know I may want to add more cross sections, I'm going to make sure I scan the whole part. And again, the reason I'm going to scan the whole part is I may need to get more data. The nice thing is you can collect the data once and not have to rescan. Or in the case you don't have access to the part, you don't have to realign and start over. Again, DesignWorks is the only product of the type that has the ability to interactively scan, store the data, and replay it at another time. You can also stop and look at your data. So if I want to stop and zoom in, I can. Again, if I want to do a really tight scan on this area here, I'm going to stay in this area for a while. And again, the only key feature is holding the probe against the part. I'm not depressing the button. I've hit it once. It makes it active. So I'm going to fill this area in here because I'm not sure if I have enough work planes to collect data on. So once I think I have enough data, I'll go ahead and stop and check my part out. So let's go ahead and rotate the part, see where we're at. Looks pretty good. I'm going to tell it to go ahead and build it. Now I have my cross sections. I could use my surface tools. But what if we needed more data to actually get a more distinct shape to this? We can go back to these work planes. We can add more work planes. Simply in Inventor, select the work plane tool. We're going to drag this over here. We'll repeat the command. Drag this over here. Here's a key feature of DesignWorks. The whole time we were scanning, we have the ability to reuse that data. Again, DesignWorks is the only product of its type that can do this. We're going to go back to that lock plane tool, and we're going to select the planes we want to add. So we want some data on this one, this one, this one, this one. We can simply say load data. The whole time you're scanning, it was built to a relational database, and here's the file. It has same as the part name with a date stamp. Now the biggest question we get all the time is, how big is this file? People are used to point cloud scanning. It's, hundreds of megs. This file, you can see, is only 40K. Again, 40K. We're going to select that file and tell it to reload the movement. It's going to repopulate those cross sections. We're going to go ahead and say OK. Now we feel we have enough data that we can build this freeform shape. Let's go ahead and hide our work planes. I'm going to select these and make them invisible. We're now going to go ahead and use a tool in Inventor to create that top loft. So we're going to come over here and use the loft tool, and we're going to select these cross sections. Again, this is a pretty complex freeform shape. It's not something you could do with measurement tools. You would need some kind of coordinate measure machine. And by doing it the old-fashioned way of collecting points, this could take you days. There's our freeform shape. Now we're going to use another tool in Inventor to actually extend that, because we want to trim it off to make our bottom piece. So we're going to go ahead and use some surface tools in here to extend these surfaces. I can do all edges or one. Let's first try to do all edges. We're pretty close on the size. Let's see if we can stretch this all at one time. I'm going to give a little bit more distance here. And I've now stretched it. The reason why I'm doing this, I want to build the base to come up to there. So I'm going to go ahead now and build our base. So let's go ahead and use the Inventor tool here. Let's take this bottom profile and we'll go ahead and grab this bottom profile, and we're going to tell it to go up to next. Our termination is going to be this base. Now you can say we've got our mold, or actually in this case our case. Let's go ahead and add the boss on top. DesignWorks has a tool to build a plane up here. We need to create a sketch. So we're going to go ahead and capture the data on top of this plane and build that boss. So we're going to go ahead and use the circle tool. We'll pick a face and start a new sketch. We're going to use the circle tool to capture this data. Again, it can be done 3 points or a best fit mode. We're now again going to use that boss and take it down to the other surface. DesignWorks has its own built-in extrude, which we've shown in other versions of DesignWorks TV for most prismatic parts. In this case, we're going to go ahead and use the up to next. So we're going to grab the tool, grab our profile, and we can grab it from the tree, or and we're going to tell it up to next. Now we're going to go ahead and finish this tool. There's one thing we want to do is we're going to trim this off to the right size. Let's go ahead and use the trim tool in Inventor, and we're going to say our cutting tool is this base, and we want to remove these little tabs. Now we have our part trimmed, and we'll do one more thing. Let's go ahead and add a nice fillet around the boss. We'll use a 1/4 inch. Let's add another fillet onto this top. You can see we've now created the full freeform surface shape in a matter of minutes. Stay tuned next week to DesignWorks TV when we take on some 3D tubing. Have a great day.